Hello there, everybody in the Great Wasteland. This is Marty, the Nuka Boy, and today is a very special day. Why, you may ask? Well, it is the first day we're recording a Wild Wastelander Wednesday episode. And I got none other than the maker, the creator himself, Spencer, aka Mr. Wild Wasteland. That's why we're all here. That's why you're looking at this mug, and you're going to be looking at it for as long as this show goes on or until the guys decide that I'm no longer fit to do that. So, how are you doing there, Spencer?
I'm good, thank you, mate. I'm honoured to be your first guest. I'm so glad that we've now got it in house. It feels very
Exactly.
good.
Yeah, I mean, I think this show is going to be, it's a start of something big. And for everybody out there that's listening, it and you're not aware of what's going on, you should really go and check out the Wild Wastelanders Market over on Facebook because that's where the magic happens. That's where all the goodies, all the collectibles, present and past, are brought to you by that man over there. Occasionally by me via updates and whatnot, but most importantly, it is such a great collective, such a great group of people, and I
Definitely.
couldn't be more proud of being part of that. And again, it's thanks to Spencer himself who brought us all together and who writes really tight ship.
Gonna
And
make me blush, mate.
and it's been nothing but fun all along. So if Fallout is your thing and collectibles are your thing, I'd say go check out the Wastelanders Market because you know this is what I believe, and there's nothing earth shattering or anything like that, but it's just my theory. You can always go to, places like Bethesda Gear or, check out your local gaming store or comic book store. But if you can get it through a community of, like minded people like what we have going on in the Wastelanders Market, it's just something else, and it's just me.
Yeah.
But if you can hit up your fellow wastelanders, and just because one thing leads to another, right? Like, yeah, you might originally be there with the intent of buying a collectible or whatever, but then you just get to chatting and start, the dialogue, with people you might otherwise not have. So, and that's what the community is all about. So, I'm really excited where things are gonna go because we've hit 3,000 people in that group, and it's been growing, and it's still a pretty young group. I mean, how long has it been since its inception?
Oh God, we started it in I think late March of this year,
Right,
so
I was gonna
March,
say like
April, May,
beginning
June,
of the
July,
year.
August.
Yeah,
6 months. That's crazy.
yeah, and already
Like when you
three
put it
thousand
like that,
people
that's
in
not
there.
nuts.
Yeah, so we've been averaging what 110, people a week, roughly. So, in your eyes, what is it that makes that group so great and why people should join in?
Well, I think it's because it's solely run. I think, well, one of the reasons is because it's solely run by content creators like
Mm,
yourself and myself and, everyone else.
mm,
We have incredible reach within the community, not just as content creators, but we also have, we're friends with the bigger creators as well. Um,
mm,
we've got incredibly dedicated people that run the place. I mean, it's just all walks of life. Um,
right.
like yourself, Marty, you create custom props. You know, Cam does his cosplays. You do cosplays as well. Brian does his really in-depth, collectible reviews, stuff like that. We've got people just
Hmm.
starting out like Oscar. It's great. And another reason why I think the community is so great is because we do the best giveaways I have ever
Oh,
seen
I know.
amongst any community.
And that's for everybody out there. That's not just tooting our own horn. I mean, the giveaways are pretty incredible because I mean, you yourself have donated a whole bunch of official, registered, licensed merch. There's people that have donated, their surplus collectibles, handmade collectibles, and from all around the world. I mean, essentially, and it's not a small package, and I think I think that what makes it also so great, it just all kind of started on a whim where we decided to run the first couple of giveaways. Like we really had no the intention was to do a giveaway once we hit a certain amount of people, right? But then all of a sudden, like it morphed into a uh, a completely different, self-contained thing where people just started writing these stories, right, as their entries. And boy, when I tell you that it was one of the most entertaining things for me to do, just shuffle through all those comments and read all the stories, I was laughing my butt off. And
Oh, it's great, isn't it? It's
it,
so
it was just
funny
like
some of the
people
stuff
people
people
can
come up with.
people can get so creative, and again,
Yeah,
a group like that will always give rise to that, to something that you might have not thought of in the beginning, and and it's just like it's always evolving, so when it came to the what was it, the spooky one that Cam ended up doing,
yeah, the
we're
Mothman
yeah,
giveaway.
yeah, the Mothman giveaway, there you go. We're just like, no need to reinvent the wheel here, let's just roll with stories again. And boy, did that take on a life of its own.
That was crazy, wasn't it? That was so good.
And like you alluded to it a second ago, we are in contact, with some of the bigger creators. I mean, we don't have to tiptoe around that. One of them being Vault Nostalgia. He wrote, what was it, a 10 chapter short story? Grant,
Yeah, yeah,
Granted, he didn't write it specifically for this giveaway, but he wrote it nonetheless. And he ended up winning the giveaway, not for its length, but for its incredible, incredible creativity. And I mean,
yeah.
I
It was
think I
so
dedicated
good.
an afternoon to that because I mean, a 10 chapter, or a collection of short stories. I'm like, yeah, that guy, he needs to be in the Fallout universe in some, capacity, some official capacity. I know it'll
Yeah,
happen sooner or later.
yeah. I hope so. I certainly hope so. I'd love to see him on the big screen one day.
Yeah. So that's great. And, things like that, like the giveaways. And I think our group, what we're always after is, you know, make make the members feel like they're appreciated and that they have a sense of belonging.
Yeah,
That's not to
definitely.
say to butter them up, just to bump up our numbers, but we wouldn't be here without them. The group wouldn't exist without its members. But
Yeah,
it's like, that constant pour of new people and the immediate attention to new members is just something that, like me personally, I haven't seen in any other group, or very few. But it's creatively and I suppose existentially, it's you know apples and bananas or whatever. But like this is such a unique group that, um, like I said, I'm incredibly proud to be a part of it, and it's just I think it brings the best out of people because, knock
yeah,
on wood, we
definitely.
haven't had the need to really step in all that much. A little bicker here and there, but which brings me to another point is that when there is a uh, a beginning of a potential problem, again, like the admins just huddle up, and they spring into action and end it before it even begins, so it doesn't have the time to fester, so to speak.
Yeah.
And that's how it's been, and that's how it's gonna continue functioning. Um, what is your, I guess, if there is an ultimate goal for the group, but like where do you see this group going?
Well, excuse me. I'd love for us to be able to host our own events at some point. Massive giveaways, contests,
Mm-hmm.
meetups, something similar to the Fallout fan celebration.
Mm-hmm.
I know it will never ever reach that sort of echelon, but
Never
actually,
say never.
yeah, never say never. But that is the ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm.
Have massive meetups. Just a group called the Wild Wastelanders. The Wild
Mm-hmm.
Wastelanders, like fan. I can't really think of a name, but I think that would be amazing. Just like events here and there, contests where people are winning free stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just constantly giving back to the community that we absolutely love.
That sounds amazing. And I mean, I can already, just thinking about it, my mind is racing 1,000 miles an hour with like carnival style games, and like
Yeah.
you said, all sorts of giveaways and, the Wild Wasteland Market on Tour kind of thing, where you just go to different spots. You heard it here first, folks. So be on the lookout for that. What do you think? Like by the end of the year, yeah, we're gonna have it in the bag. Just joking.
I hope so, but maybe this time next year. Maybe this time next year,
I
we'll
know,
see where
right?
things going, mate.
Solid goal to shoot for.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean that's definitely something I can totally see something like that, in the group's future, and just at the things at the rate things been going lately, the pathway is there. It's we blazed the
definitely.
trail,
Yeah,
and now we just keep building up on it. But to switch
yeah.
gears a little bit, I'm gonna I'm gonna ask you kind of what made you what made you decide that you were gonna create a group like that? Like what was it that you were doing before this group existed? What was your Fallout, I guess, fandom before all of this erupted? What did it look
Oh
like?
God. Do you know what? It was pretty small actually, mate.
Mhm.
Because I didn't know any of you guys
Mhm.
as of that time. Myself, I was just recording quite low quality content at that time, but before the group was a thing, it wasn't really too accustomed with social media. But it's mostly, it mostly started on the idea of expansion, you
Mhm.
know, like-minded people, because it was never intended to go anywhere. It
Right.
was never gonna. It was gonna be like a closed Discord server, comparable to that. Like 100 members.
Right
They
on.
just post their stuff every now and then, but it just blew up. It just got crazy, and
It did, didn't
as
it?
you know, as yeah, yeah, and as time went on, we've all had to grow, adapt, and change, and realize, we're not managing any small thing here anymore.
Mhm.
Um, it's just going to get bigger and bigger.
All of a sudden it got real, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It got a bit worrying, to be honest, at one point. I remember the panic in the group chat, the good panic for
Uh-huh.
everyone listening in. God, it was good
The
panic, but
butterflies, the occasional knot
yeah,
in your
yeah.
throat.
But we've all naturally found our places, and what we do best, as admins and content creators, and it's things are perfect how they are.
That's true. I couldn't agree more. And now thinking back, I remember seeing all the announcements. Like all of a sudden, it was just all over Instagram and all over Facebook. It's just like this Wastelanders market. Like, what is that? And I can't remember if at that point I knew of your account or your profile. Probably just um, the occasional glance or whatever. Uh, but all of a sudden, like I kept watching it on Facebook. I might have joined in sometime, you know. Not I know it wasn't in the beginning, but I was just kind of watching from the sidelines as to what this was going to turn into, you know, because like I
Yeah.
was aware of other similar groups out there, you know, and then I think it was who's got the very similar name? Is it Ben? I think it's Ben. The
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
the Wasteland Wares or something like that. I'm totally
The
butchering it
Wild
right now.
Wasteland Workshop.
Yeah, something like that. So
Yeah.
I kept seeing him, and so I was just kind of like, you know, carefully watching, you know, what this was going to turn into, and then fast forward a couple months, we were actually hanging out with Cam in his town, and he had just told me that he joined in as an admin, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And he was like, yeah, you know, maybe you could hop in as well. And literally the day after that, like I get a message from you, and it all sounded so official too, you know, because like there was a questionnaire and everything. You know, every time there's a questionnaire, you know, it's serious. And I was like, oh, okay, like maybe I could do. I mean, I've never been an admin of a group, a Facebook group. At least I don't think so. So it's like, what is this gonna, what is it gonna entail? You know? But like all that anxiety and everything around it, it all just kind of dissipated. You know, like once we all just kind of meshed together, and once we started, sort of, you know, pulling our own weight, doing our own thing,
Yeah.
and because you know, yeah, like you said, I mean, it all just got real, you know, because all of a sudden, you know, like we were all experts in something, and there's a badge, you know, that comes with it, you know. He's an expert at
Yeah.
this, you know, he's an expert at that, and not shortly after that, there's been some, you know, some tension among other members or whatever, and I'm like, oh boy, I'm being tested here, you know, like this is what it means to be an admin. And I remember we were just kind of going back and forth, and you were doing the same thing with another person, and without getting into too much detail, I mean, everything worked out as it should, and
Yeah.
that's kind of how it's been, you know, ever since. So that's what I was kind of mentioning earlier, that where there is a potential, you know, issue arising. I mean, it's like we all assemble, you know. It's like these Fallout Avengers that
It's
just
good, isn't it?
spring into action.
It's really good, and the way everything's handled is so. It's almost like the fairest courtroom you could ever be in. You know,
Right.
it's beautiful.
And it's just like it's without telling, because there's never been a specific, I mean, short of that questionnaire, you know, there's never really been a specific, you know, sort of rules, if you will, where it's just like you sit down with each and every one of us one on one, you know, and you just outline, you know, like this is what you're gonna do, this is how we're gonna handle
Hmm.
things. But it's like everybody just kind of intuitively knew what to do, and when there is, you know, a debate, it's like we just hash it out, you know, in the group chat. But it's like it's all so incredibly civil. You know, I don't think there's ever been a major disagreement. And if there is a
No.
disagreement, it's just handled so expertly, you know, and with such respect for each other. And
Yeah.
it's so refreshing, you know, especially nowadays, you know, in this space, you know, the digital space, where a lot of the times quality like that is lacking, you know,
Yeah.
in a lot of groups and in a lot of comment sections, and it just tends to devolve into this ugly, you know, I can't even call it a
Yeah.
debate because it's not a debate, but whether it's in the group or in our, you know, group chat, it's just been so incredibly pleasant, and it's just like it makes you want to stick around. It makes you want to do more with these people, and it just makes you want to engage with the community within the group. And I think, like I said earlier, it just brings out the best out of people. Because like
Yeah.
it kindness and niceness is contagious, and when they see it day in day out within the group, it just spreads to all of its corners, and I think that's absolutely great. So I think it's funny how you mentioned that, like, you didn't even want or intend to create anything like that,
No.
but it just kind of happened. And I feel like a lot of things that are worth having and worth fighting for and worth, nurturing into something happen like that, by accident, or it's just kind of, uh, a one off, and people for some reason hop on it, and it's just, oh, I guess we're doing it now, you know?
Yeah,
And now
yeah.
there's no turning back, and thank God.
No, definitely, mate. It's just I feel so lucky, I feel so lucky to have chosen the right people. And I'm so thankful for each and one of every one of you guys. You've all been absolutely perfect. Like, I can't say anything short of that. You've all been absolutely perfect in the way everything's handled. Not that we've had to handle much,
Mhm.
thank God, but just the amazing support we give each other, and what you all do for the community is just, oh, it's lovely.
Well, I definitely appreciate it, and I think I talk for every single one of us that we all share that sentiment. And there's
Yeah.
virtually nothing any of us wouldn't do, for this group and for this incredible collective of people. And
Mm.
just totally random right now for everybody, that might not be watching. Spencer totally did take a swig of that Nuka Cola Quantum, and he tried not to make a face, but
My boyfriend just handed it to me. I was trying to say no, but he's forced it on me, and I've had to do it.
it was a valiant effort. It was a valiant effort, but I saw that little twitch in the corner of your mouth.
Oh, I was about to cry, mate.
Yeah, that Nuka Cola Quantum is quite something, huh? It packs all the rads, I think. Mm.
It is absolutely awful but lovely stuff.
It gets better as you keep drinking it, because I feel like
It
you
does.
line your mouth, and then it's just like every subsequent swig is just less and less lethal.
Yeah.
Because I tell you, I like super sour things, but when I was doing my taste test of that Nuka Cola
I
Quantum,
remember that.
man, it was like it curled my toes, like I couldn't
You think
control it.
everyone's overreacting, don't you? When you see them, you're like, no, it's not that sour. You
I
get a bottle in your hand, you try it, and you're like,
Yes,
fucking hell.
it was ridiculous, because like, I mean, I pop warheads, like it's nothing. Like my mouth is watering as we speak. And I thought I was ready for it. That I'm totally conditioned. Nothing. Excuse me. Nothing that can surprise me. And then, boy, like that first gulp, I'm like, I I couldn't taste no berries. Like there was nothing. It was just punishing. And then it just
It's
sort of
bad.
then it just sort of dissipated, and it just kind of. I never tasted the first one, the one from 2015. So, but I
Me
guess
either.
I guess people say that it's just their regular Jones soda, like the blue one, the berry one. There's nothing special
Yeah.
about it. So this one, and this is totally not sponsored by Jones. It just kind of popped into popped into the episode here, but I guess we're talking about it. Um, what I loved about this edition is that they finally got the caps right,
Oh
and
god, yeah, yeah.
and it's just something totally worth having, you know. Um, so and I think I even said in my video that, like, for like a good 15 or 20 seconds, I'm just gushing over how good the caps are. made and how good they
Caps
look.
are lovely, aren't they?
Yeah. And I mean, it's just one more thing that just kind of immerses you in that universe. I mean, despite
Hmm.
it, saying Jones on the cap, it just sort of flows, with with the overall design. Because if you know me, then you know that I absolutely despise, like all the marketing plastered all over props and collectibles. Like I get it, it needs to be there, but it's just like I get it's Fallout, but I want that extra layer of the in universe kind of look.
Yeah, yeah.
But I
I hear
think
that.
it was not as intrusive as I thought it was gonna be because like I said, like they incorporated into the way they did it. And so just dovetailing off of that, what do you how do you feel about the upcoming releases of Jones Soda
I can't
and the
wait,
Nuka
mate.
Colas?
Especially Sunset. Oh my God. Did you see in oh, what was it? You know, there was like this Fallout 76 showcase or whatever, the interview. The
Hmm.
Bethesda employees have the actual bottles in the background, the Jones soda, so it's already in production. Oh my God.
Oh, I
I
have
just
not.
that's the one I'm excited about. I
Uh huh.
cannot wait.
I think it's funny how that was leaked or released. Well, first it was leaked, then it was officially released, and then
Yeah.
right after that there was a Bethesda leak of a Sunset Sarsaparilla collectible bottle with
Yeah.
with the caps and everything, and I'm like, they even got the shape right. So so that's gonna be awesome. There's definitely good things coming our way when it comes to
Oh
collectibles,
God,
and
yeah.
there's a with every new release of the Jones Soda, there's almost audible disappointment from a lot a lot of fans and a lot of people as to its price tag and how expensive it is. But I'm like, you gotta understand, that this is not just soda. It's a collectible. You know,
Definitely.
it's a collaboration, and it's a collectible. And diehard, Fallout fans, not even diehard, but Fallout fans, will always flock to it. And I think it's not that bad. It's not that bad. And give it a few years, and you're going to be able to find them, in local stores. Like I was able to find the Nuka Cola Victory packs, the 4 packs for $3.99. A 4 pack. So you know, I mean, there's always possibilities of it being a little cheaper, but what's the alternative? Not having it?
Yeah.
It would be a dull world without things like that, in my opinion.
Definitely, I'm happy they've started doing this. Like regular releases. It's really nice to see, and we don't have enough Fallout food, like stuff we can actually consume.
Right.
Um, it's lovely to see, and it's like it's just I'm just glad it's been made accessible to us all because we all
Definitely.
eat it up. Definitely,
Yeah.
every time there's a leak, we all go crazy, especially in the group chat.
Oh, I know, right? Speaking of Fallout food, it has come to my attention that you recently come into possession of some Fallout foods, all the way from the
Oh,
West Coast. Why don't you tell us a
oh
little bit
God,
about that?
cost me an arm and a leg, mate.
But
Um,
before you get into it, I would just go on record and state that he got it before me, and I live on the West Coast. He
I
got
remember
it
you
like
saying about
solid
that.
2 weeks before I even got to see it.
Oh my
That's
God.
the power of Mr. Wild Wasteland, everybody.
It's the power of overspending money. I went on right. It was actually quite a nice story. Actually, I went on eBay and I found people that are reselling them. It didn't really cost much of an arm and a leg. I'm exaggerating, but
That's good to hear.
I ended up speaking to the guy and I said, before I buy these, can you ensure that they're going to be packed really well?
Mm-hmm.
Because they've got a long way to come. I'd like, I'm going to be keeping some of the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also mentioned that I had what do you call it? Social media, all of that. Can't think of words today. Um, he asked what my social media was. So obviously, naturally, I told him straight away. It turns out the guys watched me before and sent me a couple sugar bombs for free.
Oh, there you go. A
So
fan.
it was really lovely. But no, the shipping was absolutely ridiculous. It was like £90, but I'm
Good
happy.
God.
Yeah, yeah, crazy.
So, what is it that you ended up getting? So the sugar bombs, the rad roach chocolate, the
Yeah.
deviled eggs. Is there anything I'm forgetting?
No, that was it. I
Mm-hmm.
got two sets of the chocolate bars, two set. No, I've got multiple sugar bombs. I got about three, four boxes of them, and two of the gummy deviled eggs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
So that's crazy because like we just went to Hollywood Horror Nights, and so I had already had one of my friends, Cam, actually, to get me one of the sugar bomb boxes. And good thing that I did because I didn't see any of it. Like I went to multiple stores and I haven't seen any of the food. There was a lot of patches, pins, and all that. A lot of the keychains and whatnot. But what I was really after was the collectible coins, right? And the way you get it is they have it's essentially a vending machine. And I only found one throughout the park, and it was out of order that night.
oh my
And
God.
I'm like,
I think that's something insane
are
about that.
you
That's so crap.
freaking kidding me? And it was like, oh, maybe it's just the card reader that's out of order. Let's do cash. No, it wouldn't take our cash, so I'm gonna have to go back or hit up somebody who's already. I think there's a couple people that stocked up on them and are either on Facebook or on Instagram, so I might as well just try my luck there. But what we did end up doing is we went to we went to the restaurant that served the Fallout food, and it was uh, it was so cool. It was just like stepping into one of the diners, like within the Fallout game because they had posters up, and the menus were all like Fallout and in universe, and it wasn't just like because everything was geared towards the show, right? The maze was geared towards the show,
Yeah,
all the promotional stuff and everything around it. But when it comes to the food, I mean, you had drinks that you had. One of the drinks was actually the Radaway IV bag, and it didn't have like Fallout plastered all over it. It was an in-universe label, right? Then they had a Sunset Sarsaparilla. I mean, those were all served, in plastic cups. They had a Nuka Cola Quantum, the Sunset Sarsaparilla, and they had one alcoholic beverage, which was something nuclear or whatever. So not like entirely. It reminded me of like nuclear waste, like in the game or whatever.
yeah,
Like it
yeah, yeah.
looked just like that, color and everything. And then all the actual entree. So they had what I ended up having was a Brahmin burger. A couple of the guys they had iguana on a stick, which was like this weird rendition of a corn dog, but it was like mini corn dogs, on a stick. But like it was just they tried doing something different to where the outside wasn't crispy, right? It was just like this weird texture. Uh, I didn't really know what to think about it, but like points for doing it differently. And none of us ended up getting the loaded cram fries, but that was an option. And I think there was rad roach legs, which was chicken legs or something like that. But it all looked, like different.
How
Like
did it
it
taste? Was it nice?
the burger was really good. I mean, it was a good size. the top bun had like this glazing on it, you know. So I was just like I never had that before, you know. And it was a solid take on a burger, you know. It I didn't get that like that cheap theme park food impression, you know, where it's just kind of like,
Yeah,
oh, I guess it'll do, you know, before we get home or go to a restaurant somewhere else, you know. It was definitely really nice.
that's good to
It was an
hear.
enjoyable experience. It was paired with an impromptu live stream on TikTok via Cam's account, and so you can only imagine what that was like. And that being Hollywood Horror Nights, you know, you have clowns with chainsaws running around. You know, there's music, you know, just pumping in the background, and it was just us, you know, goofing around, having a good time. So definitely a lot of Fallout, you know, outside of Fallout. So.
That's really good. I'm so glad that, before this time 2 years ago, that you wouldn't think any of this stuff would be happening around the world. 'Cause, it was just sort of like
Hmm.
our own niche little community, but it's becoming really mainstream, and it's
It has.
really interesting to see.
It really has, and be it the show, mainly the show, it just, you know,
Yeah,
we're seeing like this resurgence of new fans, you know, coming into the universe and actually purchasing the games and starting to play the games, you know. So um, that that's always great to see that, you know, whether it's, you know, the OG fans, you know, that have been around since the original Fallout, or brand new fans, you know, getting into 76 because of the show or whatever. It's I'm always excited when, you know, something brings in a new um like fresh air into the fandom,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it doesn't really matter to me, you know, what it is, but it's always nice to see. I always like to
Hmm.
see, you know, first timers, you know, when they're excited about it, talking about it, and you know, it's just like,
It's
oh,
good, isn't it?
new people to talk to, you know, and nerd out when it comes to Fallout. And well, guess what? There's a whole bunch of collectibles, and you can actually, you know, have a whole bunch of stuff from the games on your shelves if you choose to do so. So
Yeah.
that's absolutely incredible. So I guess we went over what your life looked like prior to creating this whole universe within the universe. How has it been? And we kind of alluded to that too. But how has it been, you know, to date? You know, so like now that the group, you know, has over 3,000 members now. You're gearing up to attend the Good Springs Fallout fan celebration. Like, how have things been? You know.
Exhilarating, mate. Honestly, it's considering from where, oh, it's my chair squeaking on the desk. Considering from where I started, up until now, it's been such a fun ride. I don't even want to call it a ride. It's more of an experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's made up from the people that are in the community, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a beautiful community, but it's just perfect. I cannot, like, I'm not even exaggerating. It's beautiful, and
Mm-hmm.
I think we all share that same view. Um, it's just so fun. The people you're going to meet, and the camaraderie between people. Everyone helps each other, no matter
Mm-hmm.
what. It's just like, I didn't even know you until a couple months ago, Marty. Look at us now. It's like it's the power of the community. You can become friends with people in literally like 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Minimum. It's so good.
It truly does have something, doesn't it? And I'm glad that you mentioned that because that is something that I've definitely felt and observed from day one, essentially, how I mean, obviously, we have people with different followings, or rather different amount of people following them, larger
Mm,
audiences, or more notoriety and whatnot. But it doesn't matter, like within the group, it doesn't really matter. It's like there's really no just kind of like egotistical behavior, or just displays of superiority within the group. Like nothing of that uh like degree, and it's just one of my favorite things is that healthy competition that everybody seems to have within the group,
yeah,
and I might have mentioned it before, but it's like, you release a video, it does really well, and it's like everybody springs into action, and it's just like all of a sudden there's like this energy among the members, and then all of a sudden like there's different videos cropping up,
yeah,
all over
yeah,
Instagram or TikTok or what have you. But it's not meant to be, this sort of envious or malicious, way to get ahead, I guess would be
yeah,
the best
yeah,
way to put it. But it's like I said, a healthy competition, because like what does it really do? It's like you get better, you hone your skills a little bit. You find, say, techniques that you haven't tried before because you saw it, in your video, for example. And it's just we're evolving and getting better as a group, because essentially, that's what we are. And essentially, it's the group as a collective that does good because of the individual efforts. So
yeah, yeah,
so I love that from day one, because and whether it's the quality of the videos or the content in general, or the number of subscribers, it's just it's so it's such a great vibe, such a great friendly vibe that I
yeah,
definitely haven't seen anywhere else. Like this is, and I'm at the expense of me sounding like a broken record, but this is something that it truly is an experience, and something I've never seen anywhere else, like anywhere else.
yeah,
Uh, it could be because for the first time, this is at least for me, I'm part of something bigger, than before, and so obviously, it comes with certain new aspects, that I might have not experienced before. But I know everybody's feeling it. Everybody else is, feeling the same thing. Whether they might have sort of, hit it big on other platforms. The individual effort is great, but when these people come in, to the Wild Wastelanders market community, it's all the better for it. I feel like.
yeah, yeah, definitely. It's I completely agree. So you've already covered it. I don't really know what to say, mate. It's just so, I'm going to sound like a broken record in a minute, but like you said, everyone builds off each other,
Right.
and it's something I haven't seen before either. Um, we all help each other out. That's just a beautiful thing. Whether it's just simply videos, or even if it's personal stuff,
Mm-hmm.
personal real life stuff. We've all got each other, and it's I can safely say if they wasn't in the Wild Wastelanders market, anyone in the community reach out to me was having a bad time, I'd happily message them back.
Right.
That's just what this community is about. That's what it's about. It's about helping each other. We're all
Absolutely.
like-minded people.
I couldn't
Yeah,
agree more. I couldn't agree more. And I, I mean, speaking from personal experience, I can vouch for everything that you just said. That I mean, it's essentially, that's life. It's not always without its bumps on the road. And when those bumps are hit, uh, we all just kind of correct each other on the back on the course. Um,
Mm.
and it's just great. And like you, I can't really explain or put it, you know, eloquently enough where it doesn't just sound like, oh my gosh, it's so great. It's the great, like the beginning of a relationship, where you haven't had your fight yet, and everything's
Yeah.
great, everything's peachy, and but it's like, well, like I mentioned before, I mean, there's been slight bumps here, here and there, and stuff that we all have to deal with, but it doesn't overshadow, the, I guess, the overarching theme, which is grow
Mm.
as a group and elevate each other's, I guess, performance, or
Yeah, yeah.
just generally the content quality. And it's like, I don't know. It's just like you've mentioned before, like we all come from, different walks of life, different corners of the world. And as
Yeah.
such, we have different techniques, different ways of doing things. And you can definitely see that reflected, in the content that we all do, whether it's, you know, short form, long form posts, pictures, or just overall trying new things. And I mean, my personal favorite is, and because I never in my life would have thought that this was going to happen, and it happened a couple times. I don't want to I don't want to elevate my status more than it needs to be, but when I hear that uh, either my video or my prop inspired somebody to do the same or try something new, that's it. Mission accomplished. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's true happiness for me. Nothing that I can ever buy or ever, you know, produce. Kind of that instant gratification that comes from, your phone pinging because you got so many likes or whatever. It's nice. Don't get me wrong, but it's like when I get someone that goes out of their way and sends me a message that that video inspired them to make a video of their own, or start building something, or start cosplaying, or attend the con because of that. There's nothing like it, and I'm sure you've had experiences like that yourself in the past,
Yeah, definitely.
and it's just
It's lovely.
right. And like I said, I never in a million years thought that that would ever happen, but
It's crazy, isn't it? It's like when these people message you, I've had a couple message me, and I know you've all had the same. It's like it's almost as if these people are they're looking up to you, and you have to turn around and say, I'm no big deal, but I really appreciate,
mm-hmm,
the thought of you loving my content and inspiring you.
mm-hmm,
It's really heartwarming to see, and it's just I have to remind these people sometimes because I've got no big following by any means, but I like to remind these people. It's just I'm just like you, I'm not
mm-hmm,
elusive. I'll respond to you anytime I can,
mm-hmm.
and help you out in any way I can.
Absolutely. And again, it just goes to show you that, the entire group is like that. The group
Yeah,
of admins I'm referring to as the group, where it's just
yeah,
like no one no one thinks they're above anybody else. You know, I mean, be it we're all still trying to get used to, certain aspects, of um, being in this space. I don't know if it changes the more you grow as an individual or as a group. I'd like to think that, we have a pretty humble group of individuals. But it's like, yeah, like you said, and I'm still getting used to it, because at
mm,
times I'm like, just knowing how many other creators there are in the space, across the internet and all these
yeah,
platforms, and I've seen their work and how badass it can be, or it is, and I'm like, what am I even doing? Like, why are people even, stopping at my page? And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
and I'm not trying to garner, fake humility here or anything, but it's just like I'm a perfectionist when it comes to these things, and I definitely know when stuff is not looking, or it's not up to par or a certain standard, my
yeah,
standard, right?
yeah.
And so what I've had to work on in the past or over these past few months is to really let myself recognize when the work is good, right? It's like it's okay to think something's badass. Like that's really cool. That definitely that is what I wanted to make, and that looks good. So I had to work at it because we're oftentimes our own worst critics, right? And there's always
Definitely, yeah.
something that's not quite right or quite up to par, and you can always find that. But it's recognizing that and taking the time, you know, where it's just like you look at it and you allow yourself to see the good in it. I think it's so incredibly important, especially if you're a creator of any sort, because there's already so much out there that can bring you
Yeah,
down, and you doing that to yourself, you're not doing yourself any favors. So,
yeah,
and I know from personal experience that that's helped me a lot in combination with what we just talked about. Like when people are reaching out, it typically tends to happen at a time where we've hit a low or you're just in a rut, and then
yeah,
something like that comes along, like a message, or somebody comments something really positive, and it's just like, oh, I guess it does something, and it's just like instantly that boost, that switch gets flipped up
yeah,
again,
yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, okay, so that's why I'm doing it, you know.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. It's comments like that, they make you want to get off your ass again and start recording and put the
Mhm.
most effort you can into things. Like I know over the past couple of weeks, I've been struggling for content,
Mhm.
mainly because of the amount of stuff that's on pre-order. So I've had to try and space out my stuff
Right.
as best as possible. Not the best videos, but the comments I still get, they're lovely. You upload it, you wake up the next day, you see the comments. It's like, right,
Mhm.
yeah, I got to record another video because these people are just so lovely. They actively encourage you to do it, and
True.
I wouldn't say there's an obligation. I don't think anyone should be obligated to record content, but I wish there was another word for semi-obligation. I
Mhm.
feel semi-obligated to provide to these people that give me those lovely messages.
Right. I totally get
Yeah,
what you're saying, because I mean the number one driving force should always be, like that's something you enjoy doing, and
yeah, yeah,
it should be fun, you know.
yeah,
Uh, that's not to say, like, let's not be naive here and say, like, like I always appreciated the saying that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
mm,
That's a nice concept, but it doesn't always work that way realistically,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So it's just like, and again, it's up to you and how you navigate it, but it's not always black and white like that. But if it's fun and you provide it to the people that watch it, and they like it, it's just that extra, little push, because I mean, essentially you could be doing it without being on social media, right? Like, but we all
yeah, yeah,
chose to show it off in some shape or form. And so,
yeah,
yeah, I get it. Like, there is a semi obligation, to provide this content for your followers or for people that um, like to consume that content, so to
yeah,
speak. So,
yeah.
yeah, I totally get it. Um, you mentioned pre-orders. What you got on pre-order?
Oh God, mate, there's so much. The pink flea, the NCR and T60 figure from McFarlane. God, I'm gonna have to think it.
Hmm.
Um, that ridiculously big Fallout poster from Made by Mutant that should have been dispatched by now.
Hmm.
Still hasn't. Haven't done anything. The NCR Ranger figure, the poker set.
Oh
Oh
man,
God, what
you
else?
went to town on
That
that, huh?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it wasn't all bought at once. It's all been bought over the past year, and I've still not seen any of it. I know the
Mm-hmm.
Pink Flea's releasing this month.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. But with Bethesda, please stop with the pre-orders. You're killing me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I've got quite a bit on pre-order. Like literally everyone else, it's getting a bit crazy. But it's lovely to know that we're getting all of this beautiful merch, and
For
it
sure.
doesn't take away my excitement.
Right. That's the thing about pre-orders because we all know that, it might take a while, but it's just like, okay, now
Mm,
you've pre-ordered, you bought it, it's just you want to see it, you want to have it in your hands and,
yeah.
and whatnot. Um, I guess this would be a good point to kind of steer the conversation towards you and your collection. But before we get to that, when was the first time you started collecting Fallout anything?
Oh
Like, what was what
God.
was the number one item or the first item that started it all?
It was um it was many years ago. As you all know, I'm 22. I'm very young. I'm still a baby. But when Fallout 4 dropped, that was 2015, I think,
Mm-hmm.
2014, something
10
like
years
that.
ago now.
Yeah, God, I don't know how old I must have been, but I was young. Um, there was a pre-order edition with the phone Pit Boy, the
Oh,
Fallout
right on.
4
Yeah,
phone
yeah.
Pit Boy. You could, yeah. Got my mum and dad to get me that, and well, they bought it for my birthday or Christmas. That was my first Fallout collectible
That's a
ever.
good one.
Yeah, yeah, it was. I used to wear it everywhere. Oh my God. I'm surprised it's still in one piece. It's on top of the wardrobe right now. But
That's funny because I just recently acquired that Pit Boy, the one that you put your phone in from a
yeah,
local gaming store. I think it was like $50 or whatever. It came with the stand and everything, minus the box it came in. But I'm like,
yeah.
for $50, I mean, that's a no-brainer, you know?
That's a good price. That is a really good price for it. I mean, I see people selling just the Pit Boy without the box for like $100,
Mm-hmm.
like 7 quid. That's a really good price. That's a steal, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it had to come home with me. And then
Yeah.
just not 10 feet away from it, they had the 2000 the Mark 6, well, whatever, the one in 76,
Yeah, yeah.
the kit in the red case and everything for $300. Still a good price because everywhere on eBay, it was hundreds more, but
Yeah.
I didn't end up getting that one.
Oh
And I was
no.
it was there for a while. It was there for a while, and every week I was like, okay, if it's there next week, and I started sort of like bargaining with myself, and I'm like, well, I could potentially write it off my taxes, because it would go towards business and everything. But I'm like, I ended up chickening out and never ended up getting it. But if it showed up then, it'll show up again. I'm hopeful.
Definitely. There'll always be someone that's charging a good price for it. You'll get one eventually, mate.
Right. And it's like it's funny because that 3000 Mark IV, I think to this day is still one of my favorite designs of the Pit Boy. Like one of my absolute favorites. It's just I don't know. But it could be influenced by the fact that Fallout 4 was my official gateway into the fandom. So like when it came out, I I played it for days straight. It was just like I still can't quite remember because I just it was just such a weird trance. I just I got so into it. and I think like the first 10 to 15 levels of the game, I was like, I don't even know how I got there or how fast. It was just, it felt like I was glued to the screen. It was that exciting for me.
Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. It's you know, the hours just fly by. You know,
Hmm.
one minute is 12 p.m. and you're playing
Yep.
Fallout 4. The next minute is fucking 48 hours later, and
There you
you've
go.
missed work and stuff.
It really does work like that, and it's but I like to think that like it's stimulating for the brain. As long as
Yeah.
you don't abandon and neglect your other duties or chores and stuff like that. Like, I say go for it. But so we know what started it all. Um, have you ever tried, I guess, or thought about appraising your entire collection?
Oh, mate, I'm too scared to. I want to insure it. I do want to
Uh-huh.
insure it. You know, my biggest fear is, uh, you know, it getting destroyed some way or another.
Mm-hmm.
I have four cats. You know, they're all a bit crazy. They're not allowed in this room
Right. Same
for
here.
that reason. Yeah.
I mean,
But I might appraise it. I don't know. Maybe when it gets a little bit bigger,
mm-hmm.
or to the point where it's going to be extremely worrying that if something goes wrong, it gets destroyed. But I know for a fact that it is well over, I think, about 20,000 at the minute.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I think that's just off the top of my head. But
Right. Well,
yeah,
especially now that some of those items, or a lot of those items, have gone up in value. I mean, that happens
yeah,
so quick. That happens so
it
quick.
it does. Fallout collectibles are more volatile than gold. I swear to God.
I think so because the second it's off the Bethesda Gear Store or the shelves, at your regular comic book store or whatever, it's like it's either never coming back or it's gonna be years,
Yeah,
months
yeah,
at minimum.
yeah.
I mean, how long has it been since the first release of the Nuka World kit? Like what was the time frame between that one and the second re-release? I mean, that
It was a
was
good few years, wasn't it?
it must have been. I think so. It was at least a year.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think. God, I can't actually. I don't actually know. I think it was a couple years or a year, but
Mhm.
decent amount of time. And I remember you saying to me, well, putting in the group chat actually. Um, I'll let you tell the story in a minute. But you know that guy that was selling one for like what was it, seven
It
fifty,
was
nine
750
fifty?
plus $5 shipping.
Oh yeah,
Let's not
plus
forget
$5
that.
shipping.
Let's not forget that, because I felt that was just like a slap in the face. Um, and, and that's just real quick. Uh, have you ever seen or observed any sort of price gouging or scalping within the group? Because I know just recently, like things really started to take off when it comes to buying and selling, which was the original intention of the group. But I don't think I've
Um,
seen anything outrageous, that's that's outside of the like the popular demand. So obviously there's going to be expensive things. I think the most expensive thing that I saw within the group, but then again it makes total sense just because it's so incredibly rare, was that green flea. And what was it, like $2,000 or something like that?
oh God, I can't remember, but yeah, I think they were only given out to GameStop employees or something
Right.
like
It
that. I
it
think
was
they're
something
really
very
exclusive.
exclusive. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So it's like, and it's always like, don't get me wrong, I do not appreciate price gougers and scalpers on the internet at large, but people need to realize that supply and demand exists, and
Yeah.
it's just that's literally what drives everything. So when I mean, how long has it been since we got, or when was when did they release the Nuka Cola truck?
Oh God, that was years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no clue. I couldn't give you a time frame for that, but I know it was a long time ago. But that goes for a decent amount now.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure. Like, I must have seen one for at least $1,000 for sure.
Mm,
But it's like it because certain items I've noticed. I don't know if it's by design, but there's a certain group of or category of items that don't really pop up all that often. So
yeah.
it's just like when it comes to these kits, like we had the Lucy kit and the Vault 33 kit, and now Nuclear World. Like, we all knew that that was gonna pop up again. It was just a matter of
Mm,
when.
yeah.
Uh, uh, but that when it comes to the vehicles, you know, um, like the fleas or whatever, I wouldn't be surprised if that Nuka Cola truck never popped up again. Or
Yeah.
anything like that. It's just such an exclusive item.
You're right, and it's like it's almost like some items, they're not state. Some items aren't limited,
Hmm.
but you almost have that gut feeling, and everyone knows because it's such a cool item. They're gonna do one run, and you're never gonna see it again. So you
Hmm.
got to get yours while you can. It's like there's that gut feeling every time you go on the gear store or whatever site that you've got to get it now because
Hmm.
it will be the only chance that you're gonna get it that cheap.
Absolutely. Which is kind of crazy because that truck is so prevalent in the games.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
find it on every shelf, and you just
yeah,
grab it. Um, but but I think all of this is needed. We need that exclusivity and that rarity of certain items because, again, it just kind of drives up that that collector, competition or whatever. Because I mean, as a kid, I used to collect sports cards, and
yeah.
and we used to trade it, like actually trade it. But like that's virtually dead nowadays. Because now you can buy the whole set of cards or what have you, like right off the bat on the internet. And there's no real drive for people to collect and to trade. So I think the trading aspect of um, collecting is gone. I mean, it might be just my opinion,
Yeah.
but I think it's gone. There's no real need for it, and that could be with the advent of the internet, you know, in the early 2000s or whatever. Um, but I don't know. I like to see it, come back in some sort of capacity, and I think one way you can achieve that is by you know certain things not being so prevalent,
Yeah.
so plentiful out there. Um, and I mean, by definition, those things tend to be, a little pricier, a little bit, well, out of most people's budgets. But I think that's a good thing for the market.
Mm.
I really do. And because I don't know about you, but anything I'm collecting, when I hit that point where it's just like, okay, the collection is complete, like all of a sudden there's this void where it's like
Yeah.
you think to yourself, okay, now what? Now you have to fill that void with something else. So as long as there's
Yeah.
you keep pushing that finish line, a little further and further. I think that's a good thing, and
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
because that's where the excitement lives, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's just the beauty of collecting really anything. But um, all right. So we know what you started your collection with, how big your collection is. And I know this is going to be a hard one, and most collectors will agree that it's oftentimes an impossible uh, to answer. But what's your favorite piece?
Oh, I've got it right next to me, mate. I was waiting for this question. All right. There's also a story that goes with this. Oh, right. Hang on. Let me try and get it over here safely. I'm terrified to pick it up, Marty.
Uh
I
oh.
try and never move it because it's so, I wouldn't say it's fragile, but I wouldn't want anything. I'll cry if anything happened to it.
Well, hopefully not. But if it does happen, it's caught on camera here, and we can all commiserate. And there's gonna be a GoFundMe, in Spencer's honor. And
It's this beautiful piece. Now this isn't the Fallout 4 phone Pit Boy.
mhm.
This is the Think Geek working Fallout 4 Pit
Oh,
Boy.
the Bluetooth one.
Yeah, finding one of these in working condition like this is absolutely, well. There's a few of them,
Hmm.
but a lot of these actually broke at
Right.
launch. They had an issue where you saw that, that load screen that just
Hmm.
come up with all the text. It got
Hmm.
stuck at that. No way to fix it. It was like that for years. There is a way to fix it now, however, but it
Hmm.
involves taking it apart. It's incredibly complicated,
Right.
and all of that. But this is definitely my favorite piece.
Yours
And
boots up.
yeah, mine boots up. Takes a while, but it does boot up. But the story that goes along with this, and it's a bit ridiculous actually. Um, it was probably about 3 years ago, 4 years ago now. Um, Obviously, I was young. I didn't have a job at the time. I
Mm.
saw it on Facebook Marketplace for £300. Now that's
Wow.
crazy because these things go for upwards of £1,000 in the
Hmm.
condition with the box, everything, the sleeve. I didn't have any money. Obviously, I asked my mum and dad, "Oh, can you lend me 300 quid?" No, no, we cannot. Go and get your own money. Um, that was like a knife in the heart. So I got into bed in my absolute misery, thinking I'd missed out on an incredibly rare collectible. I went on it was a bit silly. I went on a loan company's website. I pulled out £1,000 loan, which do you know what? I actually only finished paying off literally this month. I pulled it
Wow.
out for that long, so it was a stupid amount of interest. But they gave me the loan. The money was in my account for an hour, so I messaged the guy. I said, "Oh, hey, do you still have this?" And he was like, "Oh no, someone's already bought it."
Oh gosh.
I wasn't gonna have that, so I said, "Right, double or nothing. I'll give you double the money. I'm gonna come tomorrow." And he was proper. He was like a proper seller. He was like, "Oh, unfortunately, I've already locked in the trade or anything." I was thinking, well, that was it. That was it for me. I'd taken out £1,000 loan. I'm gonna have to pay it back over the next 4 years. Um, Stupid amounts of interest. But just as I was about to get into bed, like go to sleep, get a message back. It was like, "Oh well, what time do you want to come tomorrow?" God, I almost started screaming. Yeah, so
It was meant
I
to
was in
be.
my car. Yeah, I was in my car first thing in the morning. Had to drive 4 hours to go and get it. For all the Americans, that is a long time for any British person to drive. That's from one end of the country to the other. But
That's
I got it.
dedication. This is also when Spencer's parents find out in this episode right here.
Still doesn't know. Um, but it's
There you go.
this is how I ended up with this absolute beauty.
That's a
Couldn't be
unicorn right
happy.
there.
It's just lovely. It's probably the most realistic Pit Boy to date. It's got its own holotape, the USB inside of
That's
it.
right.
It's yeah. This is my favorite piece by far. I love it.
So this is the one that you can also pair up with the app, right? With the
I
computer.
thought that
Hmm.
you can't. You can only connect it to your phone, but you can take phone calls on it. It can
Oh,
take
I see.
text
I see.
messages.
So it was the phone
Yeah,
version that you run the app on, right?
yeah. I bought it under the pretense that I didn't really know much. I
Hmm.
just knew it was fucking rare.
Hmm.
But no, it can't do that. But that doesn't take away from
Right.
what a statement piece it is.
Yeah. No. That's great. And yeah, I've seen those go for a ridiculous amount of price. So
Yeah,
um, yeah, that you definitely got yourself a unicorn right there, because that's what I've been hearing. A lot of people's Pit Boys got bricked, and
yeah.
can't really use it because it doesn't go past the boot up screen.
It's
Um,
crap.
right. I still think the Want Company should re-release one that's like
They should.
alongside the the newest one, where it's just like the functionality, and the capability of it is someplace else, um because the technology is there. I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't take much to have it do all those things, and the Mark Fives are $200, still. So
yeah,
um,
yeah.
I think um, I would love to see that. Is it going to
I would
happen?
too.
Probably not, but um, we'll see if we're going to get anything new in the Pit Boy realm come season 2 of Fallout.
Certainly
But
hope so.
but yeah, I remember because when I was finally dead set on doing a Fallout cosplay and everything, I had to 3D print my Pit Boy, and I knew I was gonna put my phone in there, but then I found out that the app is no longer supported, the Fallout
Yeah,
4 app, the companion app, and I was actually able to download the APK onto the phone, so it's just kind of work around,
yeah,
and I got it to run. I couldn't pair it up with my game anymore, but I just basically needed, something to move on the screen in my Pip Boy, and it got such a great feedback, and to my surprise, there were so many people that were unaware of one, uh, well, the Pip Boy, two, that that it was functioning, to a degree, that there was a phone in there, and stuff like that. And I'm like, because again, perfectionist here. I didn't think the Pip Boy looked that great, because I conk crunched, yeah, till the wee hours, right before the con, and it's still not, it still smelled of paint, the next morning,
yeah.
and it's all like rubbing off on the suit and everything, which I didn't mind, but because it was because of the size of the phone that I was putting in there, the Pip Boy had to be appropriately sized to it, and then so I had to make so everything is said and done. Painted, phone is in there, and then I go and put it on my arm, and it's so big. Like, and like I have tiny wrists. Like my forearm is decent size, but I have bitch wrists, you know. And I'm like,
Yeah,
this is not gonna freaking work, like what am I gonna pad it up with? So I had, like pieces of foam and whatnot, and I actually ended up wearing a pretty thick paracord bracelet underneath that kind of stopped it from sliding, further on my hand. And I'm like, well, I guess, but my heart just sank, because like everything was, uh, pretty much ready, and I was ready to
yeah,
go to bed, and then I was just like, I slapped it on, and it was just like so big.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, so it's like I'm panicking, and I'm trying to make it work. And then essentially, I came up with that solution. But it all comes with the territory. So,
At least she was getting the natural weather of it
oh
from it
yeah,
rubbing
yeah, for
against your
sure.
suit.
And now
Yeah,
I like it to the point where I just kind of want to repaint it, a different paint scheme. And because the original idea was to put an Arduino in there and have actual working buttons, but I'm not a coder. It takes so much for me to just tinker with electronics. Like I can do lights, I can do like all that, but when it comes
yeah.
to making screens work or anything like that, like it just takes somebody else to do that.
It
But
is very difficult.
yeah, so and I wasn't even originally gonna get the newest Pit Boy, but it was almost in well actually it was entirely funded through the commissions, which I was ecstatic about. I was just so psyched that it actually ended up working,
Yeah,
ended up working out. So I actually did get that one, and boy, like I think it's one of my favorite pieces in my collection, because that thing is just a thing of beauty.
it definitely is. I like how functional they are, of the
Mhm.
amount of modding and customization you
Mhm.
can do to it.
Mhm.
I just That's what I wish you could do with that one I just showed, but
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't dare to. But one company Pit Boys are definitely the future. If they're going to do a line of them, I would
Mm-hmm.
love to see that.
Oh man, I would pay almost anything for it.
Same, same. I hope they know that as well. There's so many
We
of us
already
that would
know
pay
that
hundreds.
you are dedicated. Like you're gonna take out another loan. Well, hopefully you won't have to. You know, things
No,
change
I won't
quite a
have
bit.
to this time. I wouldn't dare.
That's hilarious. So, what other pieces do you have? I say within arm's reach that you
Oh,
can
you're gonna
that you can
like
show
this one
off.
actually. I know you've seen this before, but got this from Germany. It's
Oh yeah,
little Radiation King, custom
that's
made,
crazy. Working
all
TV. Look
3D
at that.
printed. It's a very cute piece. It costs quite a bit, but I'm happy because it's
Hmm.
completely original. The guy had to design all these pieces for
Right,
himself.
right. The little Nuka
Um,
Colas there, the
yeah, it's got a
magazine.
grognack, yeah, and it
Hmm.
and it plays lovely little. It would take a while because it's got all the sounds, but
Right. Oh, you hear a little bit of static. Oh, there
I
you
don't know
go.
if you can hear that.
Uh huh. Plays music. There you go. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
uh it's a very cute little piece. For anyone that's watching this and wants one, there's the QR code because he's conveniently put it on the
Oh,
back.
there you go.
Um, if you scan that, you'll probably have to get one. They're not cheap, but worth it. 100% worth it. They're so
It
unique.
looks so
Um,
good too.
thank you. Yeah, it's a very nice piece. Like he was referring to a minute ago, I wish there was some type of like Raspberry Pi or something
Mhm.
I could put in here,
Mhm.
but too much work, far too much work. But yeah,
That's
that
just
that's
it.
my other
You
favorite
know, that's
piece.
a whole new skill set that I would have to acquire, you know, just to
Yeah,
and I mean, maybe, you know, that's something that it'll happen down the road, but
I hope
uh,
so.
there's just so many projects right now that um, you know, I'm involved in and there's always something. There's always that new shiny penny, you know, that's like
Yeah,
we all
it
know that.
takes a lot of patience. Excuse me.
Right. So what's that one thing that you're really after that you don't have yet? Like
Oh,
your, you know, that the Moby Dick of
oh
collectibles.
my God, I'm trying to think. Oh well, we've all seen Brian McNeil's the Vault-Tec Archives
Mhm.
massive, stupidly life-size statue of the Death Claw.
Mhm.
I want that badly.
Mhm.
Or, and I have seen this in talking about loans as well on eBay. One of those 6 foot power armors,
Oh yeah.
Fallout 3 power armors have popped up. No clue where I'd put it, but it's popped up for a very good price. And dare I say, I have been considering it, but that is absolutely wouldn't fit in my car anyway. I'd have to
Mhm.
hire a whole truck to go and pick it up. But I would love one of them.
Oh, it's a one piece, huh? So it doesn't disassemble.
No, it's like those statues that used to
Mhm.
go in like GameStops and all that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's one of them. I don't know if it disassembles actually. I've never asked, but
Mhm.
you know, I think it is excessive getting that. As much as I'd love it, I simply don't have the room for it.
Right.
Plus, TJ will probably kill me.
I mean, to be honest, most of my collection now lives in their respective boxes, the way they came in. You know, because there's gonna have to be some major restructuring in in my place, and to be able to display them all.
Yeah.
But um, that's gonna happen. Um, it's gonna have to happen anyway. So
Well,
until
what's your favourite piece, Marty? What's the piece you're after?
man. So currently, as it stands, I mean that Mark V Pit Boy is a really solid piece. Um, I've collected almost all of the Nuka Cola bottles from Bethesda. I mean, it's those are definitely nice, and it took me so long to actually go for it because
Yeah,
like I've heard the stories, you know, how fragile they are, how often they break, and for somebody like me who would absolutely want to take it to the beach, you know, and just shoot content with it, it's like
yeah,
I really don't want to break it.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but then again, I might just end up doing it anyway. So like those are really solid. Um, I've well now that I have it, for the longest time I was after the Nuka World welcome kit, and well I guess I could tell the funny story behind that, because because we talked about it in the group chat number of times, like are they going to re-release it or whatever, and it was right around what is it now, a couple months ago.
yeah,
I've contacted Dr. Collector before, whether well I asked them if they were going to re-release it and if they would be interested in promoting it somehow when they do. You know, like it gave them my whole shtick. You know, like I cosplay, you know, a lot of Nuka Cola stuff, Nuka World stuff, and I think it would be a pretty good opportunity. They shot me straight down, you know, like, oh, we actually, they were like, well, we actually don't do that, you know, like promotions, but you're more than welcome to shoot content with it, and then we'll tag it and stuff like that. I was like, oh, well, at least you told me, you know, straight away. But they also told me that they weren't planning on re-releasing it anytime soon. Because if I'm not mistaken, that's a
lies.
Spanish company, I think, that it comes out of Spain, or at least that's where they're headquartered. Not 1 month later, like we're talking about it in the group chat, and it was like right before I think I was going to bed or whatever. I wake up in the morning and my phone's blowing up with messages that it got re-released. Haxo goes like, Marty, Marty, wake up. I'm like, what the heck is going on? You know, everybody's posting pictures and links to it. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I was just talking about it last night. I went on the website. I'm like, this is it. Pre-ordered, you know, right away. And like, there was no way I was gonna let it go this time. You know, because now I'm on the other side of the pond where people are like, "Are you gonna re-release it?" You know, I missed out. I was like, I was in your boat. You know, literally, in the same situation. And so when they finally did ship, and I saw that they were still in stock, I'm like, there's no way. You know, I'm gonna grab another one and give it away. You know, so um, and so for everybody out there listening, you know, a little shameless plug here. I am running 1,000 follower giveaway over on Instagram. So once we hit it, that Doctor Collector's Nuka World Welcome Kit is going to be part of that giveaway on top of other items in it. And it's going to be a big one. There's instructions on that page as to what to do. And all I'm going to say is you're going to want to be a part of it because
And the kit's sold out again too,
and
so
the kit is now
get
sold
on
out.
that.
So if you're a fan of Nuka Cola and Nuka World, just like I am, um, yeah, why not follow my page? You might as well, you know, subscribe and potentially win it. So yeah, that was the funny story behind that, and I'm glad I hopped on it because, like I said, I wasn't gonna let that one go away this time.
It was a matter of hours. I remember it. It was like
Mhm.
3 a.m. my time.
Mhm.
You know, we were just talking about it. In the UK, the gear store dropped stuff at 8 a.m., 7,
Mm.
8 a.m.
All
Oh
right.
my God, everyone went crazy. It was, oh mate, everyone was saying, "Oh, ring Marty, everyone
Mhm.
ring Marty." I was as well. It was hilarious.
Literally everybody did. All the admins in the group, like everybody posted about it or let me know about it. I was like, oh, oh. Like I'm literally just like trying to, open my eyes. Like my brain's not
Not
working.
even got out of
My
bed yet.
one of my eyes like not responding. I'm like a broken freaking doll, just kind of, It's like what is going on? And then I open it up, and then lo and behold, it's the Nuka World kit, and it's so worth it. Like these kits are so well done. Like especially this one. There's a thick booklet, with like so much lore, and it's kind of like a visual guide, because like you have all the Nuka World stuff that you see in the game, and then you have all the monsters that are in there. It's kind of like somebody's diary, that just compile like all the information about it. You have different caps. The box itself is actual music box. Then there's a puke bag. If you get sick on the Nuka World rides, there's a there's a VIP pass. What else is in there? There's that. Um,
There's
uh,
so much crammed in there, isn't there? You
yeah,
can't remember it all.
it's ridiculous. There's a lanyard. There's the Nuka
VIP
Express pass.
pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man,
Oh,
I mean that was just like all the kits, all of their kits are so worth it, And like the Vault 33 one, the Lucy one, the Vault Tech ones. I mean, like those have like little projectors in them, little slide projectors that are just it's such a nice touch.
yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It's so worth um, getting, in my opinion. Um, just because like I'm definitely planning on displaying those, just like take everything out and just kind of scatter it throughout the collection or whatever. Because like it's no good, hidden inside the box. Like I'm not that kind of collector. Like I don't keep stuff in the shrink wrap. I take my Funkos out of the boxes because
Yeah.
I like to look at them. Just handle it from time to time. Dust it off every once in a while. But it's just like I like to call it. Just kind of like working collection.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Because let's be real, I'm probably never gonna sell or resell any of it. So it's just like why keep it in the box?
I agree with that. I agree with that a lot. I'm guilty of keeping the boxes, but
Mm-hmm.
I take everything out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I want to be able to play with it.
Mm.
Not play with it like I'm a child, but you know what I
Right.
mean.
Yeah. You take it out. Look at it from time to time,
Yeah.
at least once when you get it, and yeah. I mean that's. I mean, but we all do our own thing. Because again, a lot of the stuff is just kind of, at least for me, it kind of pulls me into that universe. And it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
every time I see something unique, even unofficial, within reason, because we've all seen your videos of getting, you know, uh, knockoffs off the internet, and what that can look like. But I guess going off of that, what would kind of qualify as my favorites, or at least one of my favorites, is the magazines from the Australian dudes. What is it?
Five knots.
Five Knob Creations, and
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my gosh, like I got three of their what 4 or 5 magazines. And, I mean, they're just so well done. There's just so well done. I have one of the Grognacks, I think, the bullets and ammo or whatever, and then the tails one, and it's just like they're thick. And so no surprise there that the price tag, that's the in universe price tag, actually reflects the real price tag. So like they're
Yeah, yeah.
29 or $39, but it's like it's a book. It's thick. You definitely get your money's worth.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of just kind of flipping through the real magazine, because I know
Mm.
there's a couple of them out there I don't know if they're notebooks or if they're just kind of, like the outside looks like the cover of
Yeah,
the magazine, which I mean it's cool, for a prop. But when I first found out that it's an actual magazine, and it's like it's got all the different advertisements in there, it's just so great to see, and I just have to have it. And
yeah, yeah.
I've shot multiple videos, with those. It's such a great prop, and it's just I still haven't read them all, cover to cover, and so that's always just kind of what are you reading? Oh, a Grognak comic book, or a Fallout
That's
magazine.
awesome.
So it's like it's so awesome. They just did such an incredible job with it. So so I was kind of bummed that with the whole tariff thing, they had to suspend shipping over to the U.S. But there's some movement where it's gonna restart pretty soon. So
Yeah.
can't wait to hit those guys up again. But what am I after right now? I really did want that poker set, but I'm still just kind of dragging my feet on it because you do have to be strategic about what's coming next, and I can only imagine what's gonna
Yeah.
hit us up next. Um, but I don't know. At this point, I don't really know what my like the one collectible what that would be.
Might
Like
not have even been released yet or announced, you know. There's so
right,
much coming.
right. Um, I guess there's right now it's all about kind of gathering all the stuff that I've either missed out on or haven't really like all the stuff that popped up before I was even collecting this stuff. Because before I ever placed my first purchase on the Bethesda Gear store, it was always just kind of finding this stuff in the wild. Like over here, it used to be in the 99-cent store. It since went bankrupt, but that's where I would find a lot of bobbleheads, a lot of the backpack clips, the keychains. I think even Fallout version of the Monopoly game, and it was so cheap. I found that 12-inch bobblehead there for 9.99. So
Bloody hell.
they would
Christ.
really have good deals. Or one of the loot crate boxes for Fallout 76. It was a grocery outlet, and it was $10. That's where this mug came from. So it had this mug. So it's the Nuker World one. It had a pair of socks, a the Good Morning, sort of like a mini poster that changes, because it's that prismatic thing. It
Oh
had
yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
it had a it had a bobblehead in there, and and a Funko. Yeah, it had a Funko in there. So I mean, for $10.
Oh mate, you can't go wrong with that. That's
Yeah,
a steal, that
I,
is. They
I
go on eBay for like hundreds sometimes.
yeah, I grabbed it so fast. But even back then, it was just like, oh, it's cool. Might as well get it. I wasn't a
Yeah, yeah.
hardcore collector. Like I played the games, but um, I I don't think I even knew about Bethesda gear back then. So I definitely didn't know about it. Otherwise, yeah, I probably would have been in debt when it comes to that. Probably would have taken out a loan myself. I'm just kidding. But everything has its time, and it made its way to me when it did, and it's just sometimes this is what I struggle with at cons when I go to Comic Con or like all the other events. There's a lot of vendors that you know have really interesting stuff, but I make a lot of it myself. So it's really
Yeah,
hard for me to spend money on something that I can make myself, or if I had the
yeah,
means to do it. So a lot of so like as much as I love the figurines and how detailed they are, like I could probably 3D print it and paint it up and have fun doing it. And it's just like I oftentimes struggle with that sort of thing, or
Yeah,
when it's bottle caps or bottle cap pins. You know, it's like I I appreciate it, the effort that went into it, and it's nice, but I make all that, you know.
yeah, yeah,
So it's like it's a real struggle in that way. But it's when it's something really unique, I don't know, be it a painting or really cool piece of, like art or just stuff that would either take me forever or I would have to learn how to do it. Yeah, I go after it. But there's not much of this stuff out there, or when it's literally reselling the collectibles from Bethesda Gear, but with they're upselling a little bit. Like I get why they need to do it, but it's like,
yeah,
yeah, I can just get it from the Gear store.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it can be challenging, but it's a good problem to have for sure.
Mm, definitely.
So I guess we can just, holy crap, like we've been talking for almost 2 hours.
Have we
Uh,
actually?
an hour and 40 minutes.
Oh God, it was only meant to be an hour. Oh,
Right.
that's how much fun we're having, though. That's what I like.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, hopefully, people out there, find our rambling somewhat entertaining. And I know a lot of Fallout fans will, and that's why we're doing
Yeah.
it. So I guess, as we're kind of winding things down, what are your predictions for future collectibles? And what is it that you really want to see hit the shelves? We kind of alluded to it earlier, but what is it that you really want to see out there?
Oh God, I want the one thing I really do want is a fully functional. I mean, we said it
Mm-hmm.
earlier, but the old Pit Boy 3000A from Fallout 3
Mm-hmm.
in New Vegas. I want the one company to pick up the reins and just make one of them. My life would be complete.
Mm-hmm.
Or we've all seen the Bethesda Gear Ranger helmets. We're actually
Mm-hmm.
due another one
Mm-hmm.
over the next few months, but it's massive. It's not doesn't really,
Mm-hmm.
it's
One size fits all.
yeah. I'd like to see like one in the background like that.
Mm-hmm.
One completely, it looks beautiful. It's
Mm-hmm.
got working lights on it. I mean, these do, but incredible detail. I would love to see that come out at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm not sure what else. I'll take anything that's coming. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
I love it all. But New Vegas merch, just keep it coming, Bethesda, please.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I definitely share that sentiment because anything they ever did when it comes to the 3000 or the Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas was that clock, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
It's an alarm clock or whatever, and that's
yeah,
about
it's
it.
it's sitting up there. It doesn't really. It's yeah, it's just a clock. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's cool to have. It's very well made, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, it is just a clock. Not much functionality to it, and the
Right.
battery life is crap. No matter how good a batteries you put in it, it
Mm-hmm.
lasts like 2, 3 days
Oh
max.
wow. I guess we've kind of reached that time where, like with the release of the Mark V, we now see that the functionality is possible. It doesn't break the
Definitely.
bank, and so now, especially now that we're going to New Vegas, I think that they got to have something cooking already. I mean,
Definitely, yeah.
I believe that, and y- I mean, watch, they're gonna hit us up with the Pit Boy, you know, or or something ridiculous like that. Like
I
I
hope
already know
so.
it, and just because the collectors kind of change too, so now uh we do want to take it out cosplaying. You want to handle it a little more. It doesn't just collect dust on the shelf. So
Yeah.
so the market is definitely evolving and tracking in that direction, in my opinion.
Mm.
um but yeah, I would definitely want to see a lot of that New Vegas stuff come out too. Um, I I've played the game. I don't think I beat it once, but I definitely started playing it. Just because I wanted to be a little bit more well-rounded when it comes to the lore,
Mhm.
and it's but now I think I'm just gonna wait for the remaster if that's gonna drop, you know. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be pretty exciting too, and you know they're gonna hit us up with a whole bunch of merch. I guess I'd want to see a lot more weapon props. Like that'd be nice, kind of like they did for Fallout 4 with the plasma pistols and rifles. I think it was what was it? Spirit Halloween. They did a lot of that with the thirst zappers and the rifles, and you don't see many of those floating around on the internet because they even lit up, I believe. And I don't know. I think it's such a great design. So if if they make a lot of those, or you know, just greater variety,
Yeah,
I might
yeah.
even, you know, hop on it just because if it's well made, if it's detailed enough, then I'll definitely hop on the bandwagon too, despite the fact that, you know, I can make it and build it, but because that takes time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just a huge fan of, you know, just like those everyday objects, like all the scatter that you see throughout the wasteland, you know, and just like
Mm.
if they release, I don't know, like fusion cells, or I know they did the fusion core with the stand or whatever one year. Um, I don't think I've ever seen that in the wild. I don't know if that was a GameStop exclusive or whatever, but you know, just stuff like that or what have you.
Yeah. That'd be awesome to see, like, I've like this Halloween Horror Nights Sugar Bombs box.
Hmm.
I think that's awesome. I'd love to see more,
Hmm.
junk
Hmm.
just about.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's like a staple of Fallout. I mean, every wasteland you throw it into is, it's filthy. Um,
Hmm.
because it's Fallout. But yeah, I'd love to see more junk,
I'd
definitely.
love to see collaborations like, you know, Blamco mac and cheese,
Get Kraft mac and
you know,
cheese in on it or
freaking
something.
Abraxo cleaner or something like that, you know? I mean, that would be
That'd be awesome.
just the pure joy of seeing that, you know, on the shelves. Or I even oftentimes debate it, you know, making something like that and just put it on the shelf or something, and then just have people have at it, you know, or just like walk up to the cashier and just make them scan
It
it or
would be
something.
so cool. I mean, like, imagine the day where we could all actually be cleaning our toilets with a Braxo. That would
Right?
be amazing.
Right? I mean, I don't know. Clorox, jump on it, you know, just make a one off, or you know, make a Braxo. But I think that's where John Jones kind of reigns, you know, with the collaborations, where it's just, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they're bringing us this real world adaptation. Because like just the other day, because I finally received my Nuka Cola grape, and it came with that postcard, and I flipped it over there, and it says, you know, 2050 Jones Soda Company or whatever. So it's like the tremendous amount of detail, you know, that goes into it. It's like just to pull you into that universe.
yeah.
Um, but I mean, we could talk collectibles and everything Fallout till we're blue in the face. But I guess we're gonna wrap it up real quick, and just for everybody out there listening, if you want to be part of the Wild Wastelanders market, go ahead, hit us up, sign up for that group. If you want to be part of this podcast and you want to be featured, you and your collection, definitely sign up and join us in that Facebook group, because you never know, because your only gateway to this podcast is through that group. And like we were mentioning in the beginning, we're doing all sorts of fun things such as giveaways, and there's definitely more in the works, and you definitely don't want to miss out, and you want to be part of that. So if you're a
Definitely.
Fallout fan, if you're a hardcore OG, or a uh, a new Fallout fan, that is the group to go to. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it pretty open ended. If any of you have any questions, concerns, opinions, hit us up. Uh, we're all incredibly attentive. We want to see your guys' feedback, and we welcome any and all Fallout feedback. Just,
Yeah.
just make it good and be nice. And with that, we're gonna cut out here. Thank you, Spencer, so much for
Thank
dedicating
you.
2 hours out of your life because it is what is it? 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 or something
It
like that.
is, yeah, half two right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. So you're way out there across the pond. So I appreciate it so much, and I cannot wait to get this podcast off the ground. And
Same, mate.
this pilot show has been incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for having me. It's been an honor, and I need to say I am so happy you're hosting this podcast. I couldn't think of anyone better to do
Well, I appreciate it so much, and let's just hope everybody else feels the same way.
it.
All right, take it easy, you guys. Good night to you, Spencer, and tune in next Wednesday.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.